Yikes.
Oh,
Yikes.
yeah.
Boys and girls, ladies and gents, good morning, good morning, good morning, Saturday morning. Yeah, haven't done a live show here for about a week, Jeff, maybe a little bit longer, but good to have you on board. We got a little dose of reality for the folks today.
Yeah.
About we're going to try to make a compelling case as to why playing a tournament and playing one soon would really be a good thing for your game. Guys, I'm going to be in Berkeley next week. I'm going up there early Tuesday morning. I got a big role in this year's Pacific Coast Senior and Family Tournament at the world famous Berkeley Tennis Club.
Yeah.
And we start next Thursday on the 23rd, run through Monday. We are so full. It's insane. Next year, Jeff, we're going to have to, we bumped the entries up by 20+% this year.
Yeah.
From last year. So
you're doing so much more though. There's so much more going on. I think.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of buzz already, and what we're doing for the players is, I don't know of any other tournament that I've ever played in where we're doing this kind of stuff for the players. So that's probably one of the reasons that we got some, but we also did some personal one-on-one recruiting.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, just, putting a notice up on the bulletin board or this kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, I'll be in Berkeley. If you're around next week in Northern California, come on to the tournament test starting next Thursday the 23rd. I'll be there through Monday the 27th. Would love to see you. Say hi. And we got our wingman Jeff Jacklich here, who's going to be playing starting Saturday, by the way.
Saturday.
Yeah, we got you guys plugged in for hopefully Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Gives me an extra couple days in the gym. I like it.
That's
totally.
right.
I'm totally serious.
Man. Okay, good. That's good. All right. Well, let's get to it. I want to keep this short today, Jeffrey. So, I think that, and this message today is really for just of you guys and gals who are serious. And this is kind of a cliche way or kind of an over, what's the word? I'm not sure, but overused term in terms of if you're really serious about becoming a better player, you got to do, X, Y, Z. So this message is for you guys. If you're, and I'm fine. If you're a WebTennis subscriber and you just love this stuff and you're, for whatever reason, you're playing your tennis and you're happy with where you are, that's great. That's cool. I got no problem with that. But for those of you guys who are really working on your game and trying to get better, yes, I know that, we talked about the kitchen, we've talked about fitness, we've talked about those are the really fast ways of becoming a better player. If you're carrying around extra weight, shed that right away. You'll become a better player. We talk a lot about drills and just practice sessions, which, we got to do those things. We got to work on our certain areas of our game uniquely to us that maybe I need to work on. Jeff doesn't need to work on, but Jeff needs to work on something. Maybe I don't want to work that I don't need to work on, whatever.
Exactly.
But one of the real in-your-face reality checks in terms of what you discover about your game, who you are, whether it's swing tech, maybe you got an opponent over there who kind of exposes you. Oh, my God, in my cross-court backhand drills, I'm pretty darn good. But when I get in the match, I suck with that shot. Or tactically, you get out there and there's just no rhyme or reason as to what you're doing. You've got shot patterns you work on in practice, but they just don't seem to line up and really work with this opponent today. So tactically, you need to work on that. It could be mental. It could just be that you're fine in practice, but you get out in the real deal and the nerves are just overtaking you. A lot of anxiety. So you need to work on that. My point here, Jeff, is that the one way to get a real dose of reality as to where your game is so that you know exactly what to work on is to go enter a stinking tournament. I'm not talking about league stuff.
Nope.
I'm not talking about Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock in your comfy confines of your tennis facility on the same court that you play every day during the week on. I'm not talking about
Right.
that. I'm talking about you got to go play a tournament and you got to play at a venue you've never played at before. Some guy who rolls out there and he's got the not the latest, but the oldest gym attire that you've ever seen since junior high school.
Right. In fact, he just took it out of his gym locker. It's a little wrinkly.
Yeah. And he's got three rackets, but they're all different. I mean, they're all different rackets, and he's just a goofball. But god dang it, he doesn't fricking miss a ball.
And he just carves you up.
It's just carves. He just runs everything down and goes, here's another one on the silver platter that you can miss.
Yeah. Yeah. The third racket in his quiver is a Hamilton Beach, holiday carving knife, because he just made you feel like a holiday ham.
That's right.
I mean, and they're the best.
Yeah.
I mean, this week, I was down there in Sunnyvale playing a small senior event. And the first guy I played, just the carver, cut everything off short, bunted the ball around, great hands though, and just it was a challenging first match, and it really tested me to make sure I stayed in my lane, didn't overplay, because I should just kick his ass. Like, no, that's not the way this works. You've got to find that place, like how do I actually handle this, because part of it was me is I'm getting ready for Berkeley, and so I'm going to sign up and play for this because I need some tournament matches under my belt, and that's something traditionally I'm always lacking a little bit, is tournament matches and practice matches under my belt before I play these events. So when I get a chance to, it changes everything. But what it does is it pushes me to have to mentally, emotionally, physically gather it all together, manage it, and then go, okay, I see what I did today. What's happening today? Okay, now tomorrow we got this next guy, and it's like, anyway.
Well, and let's be honest, Jeff. I mean, you're sort of at a different demographic, shall we say, in terms of our audience, which is, I mean, these guys have got holes in their game that they need to work on. And my point today is, this is how you really find out what those holes are. And so if you haven't been playing any tournaments, if you want to get better, if you seriously want to get better, overused term forever, but here's a great way to do it. Go enter a tournament and you will quickly discover what you got to work on. And the beauty of that, now you've got some real clarity. You've got some clear thinking when you go back home and you get on the practice court. You know exactly who to call. Oh, I'm not going to call this guy because he doesn't really want to work on the thing that I want to work on. He doesn't, whatever. So now you know who to talk. Now you know who to schedule. You know what to work on, and what you come away with is that now all of a sudden when you go play the next tournament or you play a practice match at your facility, things are different, just different. And I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you become a better player with just playing a league match, which I don't want to tee you up too much on this, Jeff, because I know I know that I can really get under your skin with asking you about USDA league tennis. Yeah. But go ahead. I'll give you the floor for 60 seconds on why the league stuff maybe is not such a great idea in terms of getting that dose of reality.
Yeah. So first I'll say this. It's like, league has its place for sure. People need a time, a schedule, something they can count on. They don't have to schedule it themselves. They can show up at 6 o'clock at the club, play their match, play their league match. There's a clinic scheduled for their team every week, once or twice. And all that stuff, I think, is incredibly positive. I think all that is really great because it keeps people playing tennis. It opens the door for new players. How do I get involved? All that. However,
here we go, people. You might want to get your seatbelt strapped on.
Buckle up. However, if you're really looking, as you've already said, Brent, if you're really looking to improve and understand where you actually fit into the grand scheme of tennis, you've got to play an event, because you are out there. Tennis events, tennis tournaments, senior tournaments, you are a lone rider. The team is not there. They're not all up at the fence cheering you on. No one's bringing you water at the changeover. Bob, what do you need? Oh, let me get you towel. Let me get you this. Let me get you banana. Let me. Nobody's doing that. Okay, maybe if you brought somebody to watch you play, you got a wingman there. Great. I do the same. Sometimes though, I ask a complete stranger who's watching the match, saying, "Hey, you know what? Could you go up to the desk and grab me a banana?" Because I'm like, it just slipped my mind, or whatever it might be. But I'm telling you, when you're out there, you are out there swimming in the ocean without a life vest, and sometimes the waters get murky, sometimes the tide gets really heavy, and the waves are crashing on you. And the thing is, this is where you cut your teeth on being able to mentally and emotionally gather yourself, bring it together, and really understand this game, because you don't have the loose chatter from the rest of your team throwing sports platitudes at you that have no substance. There's nothing in, hey, come on, you got this. Hey, come on, whatever. I mean,
well, yeah, no. I think there's too many messaging. There's too much messaging coming
too much messaging
into you.
Yeah.
And really, if you think about it, I mean, if you didn't have that, and you could travel somewhere and go play a league match, okay, then you might have an opportunity to be able to really, after the match is over, it's be able to sit down on your own.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to deal with teammates who are either, hey, you're the man, or what the hell? I've never seen you play so crappy. What happened? Whatever. You need some clarity in terms of when you're done as to, okay, what are your takeaways? What's your number one takeaway? You got to be writing this stuff down. I mean, one of the things, Jeff, that I love to do when I'm done with a match, I don't care, first round, finals, whatever it is, I get on my phone and I got, a little note app.
Yeah.
And I'll take away and I'll just type in one thing. What's the one thing that I said, you know what, I can be better at this? Okay. So I'll come back home and I'll figure out, okay, who's the guy I want to get out in the practice court to help me with this, either to be able to set up a drill or maybe take a look at me and say, look, don't give me everything you know about the game of tennis. I just want you to look at this one thing that I want to work on. And it's less about instruction and it's more about, am I doing what I think I need to do? And so anyway, we got to cut this off. I got to scoot, but look, guys, if you really are serious about getting better, look, go enter a tournament. If you've never entered a tournament before, shoot me an email. Brent at WebTennis.com. Do the same with Jeff as well. Jeff at Jackless365.com, and we can answer your questions about tournaments and where you can find out in your area where they are. I really highly recommend that you try to get into an age group thing as opposed to an NTRP rated.
Without a doubt.
Deal. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And that does mean that if you enter an age group tournament, that's how we organize those events. It's by ages, not by skill level. So look, luck of the draw, you might get the number one seed in the first round. You might get thumped 0-0. Okay. Maybe that's a good deal. Maybe that really gives you a baseline in terms of, here's where I am. Here's the number one guy in this tournament. How do I start over the next, dare I say, couple of years? How do I start bridging that gap? This guy's not, it's not like this. He's pretty solid here.
Yeah.
He's not going away, right? Yeah. He's not running away from you. So you're going to start to bridge that gap. And that's a whole different discussion right there. But
yeah, I had I know we got to get going here, but I had a great discussion with a guy who was playing in the 55s, and he played Curtis Dunn first round. And I just happened to be sitting there on Wednesday morning, chatting with him and introduced myself, blah, blah, blah. And then he looks at me, he goes, "Why are you playing this? I mean, this is a small little event." And I just told him everything that's going on. He said, "Well, I got to play this guy." "Oh, I got to play, Curtis, a nice guy, great guy on the court, clean. You're going to have a great match." And then as we got going, I got to, know that this guy's, he's trying, he's maybe a 4.0 plus. And I said, "Listen, take the opportunity, go out there, do your best, like play hard. Don't apologize for anything and play hard. But here's the thing. When you're done, Curtis will gladly spend a few minutes with you if you ask him." And I said, most everybody it will spend a minute with, a couple minutes with you, 10, 15 minutes chatting if you ask them. If you're playing this upper level guy, number 1, number 2 seed, and this guy's ranked number 10 nationally and blah, blah, blah. I have yet to find a guy that isn't willing to sit there and help somebody. And I said, this is the grand chasm between league tennis and tournament tennis. That tournament tennis, the culture is so much more positive, and most everybody is willing to help you because we want more players. We need more players. We need people engaged in the actual reality of playing some great tennis, and we want the competition without the BS.
yeah.
Mildly,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that's a really good point. I mean, top guys are very, very helpful. And look, I want to close with this, Jeff, by just telling, look, I know there are a lot of you guys out there who are good players, and there's the voice that keeps saying, "God dang it, I think we're underachieving. I think there's more to be had." However, there's another voice over here going, "Yeah, but what if you find out that you're just not that good? What if you find out?" And if you haven't played a tournament ever, or if you haven't played a tournament in a long time, the first match out there, the first couple of tournaments, it's going to be a nervy, anxiety-ridden situation.
Yes.
And you just have to get through it. You just have to get through it. And the only way I know, there's no formula for saying, "Oh, I got a magic bullet. I got a magic pill here in my pocket. Here you go." No, I mean, the only way to do it is just to grind through those nerves for a few matches until you finally settle down and just go, God, this is stupid. I don't need to be nervous. First of all, it's just tennis. All right. My life's not going to change if I lose 0-0 to the top seed in the first round. Big whoop. So if you're on the sidelines, and I got a couple of guys I know who are damn good players, but they just think, well, I got to keep ready. I got to keep getting ready to get ready. And I go, this is not the place to do it, bro. I mean, if you want to find out right where your game's at, go online. I'll help you do it. And let's get you entered. Let's find out where you're at, and then come back and let's get to work. So anyway,
yeah,
that's the weekend rant right there.
Yeah. Get out there and play ball.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. Some tough love right
Swing
there.
the bat.
Yeah. Right. All right, guys. Look, again, any questions? Brent at WebTennis.com, or Jeff is over at Jeff@Jackless365.com. Love to read your comments down below. Questions, remarks, feedback. We can do that publicly, or if you want to email, keep it private, we can do that as well. It is time. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, see you again next time.